I'm with Hayden Blackman, who's the Group Operations Manager of Cheshire Estates Construction. Welcome, Hayden.
Thank you for having me, Mick.
Right, do you want to just kick off, Hayden, and tell us a little bit about that business?
Yes, most certainly. So we're based in the northwest of England, just near Manchester and Burnley. We deal with Cheshire as well. So what we deal with is a lot of projects that are around Manchester, Cheshire, private and commercial wise. So we turn grade 2 listed buildings into apartments, or we turn in commercial buildings into Tesco's. And we were also doing a project up in Burnley, turning 28 houses, which was a brand new construction.
So what would you say differentiates your company from other construction companies that are in a similar field?
We'll always go out of the stretch, even when we are really busy. I met someone at a local spa that I used to go to in Cheshire, and she had some cowboy work done at her place, and she had spent a lot of money. And even though we were extremely busy, we would work on Saturdays as well, to try and maintain that we're keeping on track with our projects. We ended up going around hers after we finished on a Saturday, and then went back on Sunday as well, just to make sure that she was all comfortable, and we were looking at all of the work for making sure that anything that we could do, we were getting it done for her. Because as you probably know yourself, in this world, there is a lot of cowboys that just look for quick money. The flooring that he brought for her was absolutely dreadful. When we tried to lay it down, it was just chipping. So you couldn't even connect it together without it breaking apart. And that just kind of shows you the quality of work that he's up to, but yet the amount of money he was charging her was absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, that's what we kind of do for anyone. And we've got a team of good people, electrics guys. We have another boiler guy that'll come around. He'll deal with commercial AC units, or he'll deal with heating. We're working on an old farm in Moberley, and the boiler broke down on that, so we had to get that sorted, get it all fixed. And that boiler hadn't been used in years, so we had to then get someone to come in and replace it all when we sold it. Getting up a new gas container hooked up to it as well, and putting the lines in for that. So we had to get the machinery in, dig the trench for that as well. So it's all we're like any other company, but we actually care about the people that we're looking after, rather than just give us the money.
Cool. So one of the big impacts, I guess, in the last few years has been the pandemic, COVID-19. How was that for you?
It's been ridiculous, as you can see from bigger companies going bust. A lot of bigger companies having to give up contracts because whatever they've quoted just before, during pandemic, they've then been hit with the 50 to 60% rise in materials, which obviously, yes, okay, everyone in a business looks to make profit, but that's just so that they can then obviously stay afloat, maybe buy a vehicle or a van for someone to drive around with. And that's affected everyone, not just us, it's affected everyone. But, then we're then having to raise the price in terms of to match what it is that we're getting back, which isn't great for anyone that's on a low budget or, low income. And I just feel for them people, especially people, look at the energy prices, you know, if someone's boiler goes down, it's a lot of money to go out and fix it. So I just feel really bad for people. And, you know, I wish there was more that we could do for people in that sense. But, you know, unfortunately, you need money to be able to get all of this stuff in and repair stuff or replenish stuff. So it's very hard. It puts you in a tough spot.
And what about looking forward, Hayden? What does the future look like? What challenges have you got there?
Looking forward is just wow. You know, hopefully we hope that materials will kind of stabilize in terms of the pricing. You know, to get a bag of plaster and how much that's gone up, and it's kind of ridiculous. If it keeps going the way it's going, you know, there's not going to be many jobs for the construction side in terms of being able to fit it out and actually be able to make enough money for you to live off of yourself, if that makes sense. So hopefully going forward, the economy can stabilize, and, you know, the materials can stabilize at a certain price, and we can then, you know, start getting a lot more jobs back on and looking at bigger projects as well. Because we're just finishing the Cable Street one at the moment, which should be done by the end of, say, February, March 2023. So hopefully that'll kind of help us out.
And Hayden, obviously challenges left, right and centre. What have been the learnings for you?
It's helped us manage our clients a lot better in terms of trying to be realistic with them. You know, we've been quite flexible, trying to, you know, help them in terms of payment wise. So, you know, we don't just take a payment for everything straight after we finish. You know, we try and take a little bit to get started on the project, see if we can kind of get some more money behind it, and then we'll then say, you know, like, here's your bill, here's the remaining quote for you to pay. And, you know, some people don't pay it for 2-3 months, which, you know, does have a strain on us as well. But we're trying to be flexible and trying to be understanding during this whole crisis that's been going on, obviously, with the pandemic. So it's that's why it's tough as well.
Okay. Cool. Well, I wish you all the best with all that, Hayden. Get stuck in and make the most of it.
Thank you.
Thank you.